Welcome back, welcome back. At the age of 7, he gave his first public piano performance. 7. 10 years later, he played a complete Beethoven sonata cycle. Through music, he has made political statements too, conducting Wagner in Israel, where Wagner's music was unofficially banned, and founding and devoting himself to an Arab-Israeli orchestra. Acclaimed pianist and conductor, Daniel Barenboim is believed to be the first person in the world to hold both Israeli and Palestinian passports. 48 years on, he continues to enchant us with marvelous Beethoven performances, such as this one in Berlin. And Daniel Barenboim joins me now, as you can see. Daniel, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thinking of that intro and so on, and looking at the list, an Argentinian-born, Berlin-based Israeli who has recently taken honorary Palestinian citizenship, you are truly a citizen of the world, officially.
How about unofficially?
All right, unofficially a citizen of the world.
Well, you know, the fact that such a fuss was and is still being made of the fact that I also accepted Palestinian citizenship, to me demonstrates basically what I've been trying to say in so many different ways, that we have to come to terms with the fact that, as Martin Buber, the great philosopher, said, cessation of force is not enough to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And you know, the whole discussion, is it a one-state solution, is it a two-state solution? This is not really the question. The question is, there has to be open borders. A system has to be created whereby a confidence-building measure are established so that people can move around, because otherwise you cannot divide the country anymore.
And you said once in one concert, you said, either we kill each other or we share what there is to share.
Yes, I believe. I'm not a political person. What I say out of conviction. If you want, as a normal citizen, I don't belong to any party. I don't have contacts with politicians. I never met Arafat. I never met Abu Mazen, and I have no contact with the Israeli leaders either. So what I do is not a political thing. But I believe very strongly that the destinies of the Israeli and Palestinian people are inextricably linked, and that there is therefore no military solution to the conflict. So if we believe in that, and everybody who talks about it seems to agree on that, why don't we get on with it?
Absolutely. And we've got to recognize, you said, about, from the Israeli position, co-responsibility for Palestinian suffering.
Look, Israel has been an occupying force for 40 years. If you are an occupier, you are responsible for the quality of life of the people that you occupy. And we, the Israelis, the Jews, are supposed to be such people of intelligence and so on. We are both admired and hated for this seemingly ever-present intelligence. Where is the intelligence of not bringing culture, education, medical care and all that to people for 40 years? They will not knuckle under.
And you feel that music can play a part in the communication? I mean, maybe the Arab-Israeli divan and so on too, but I mean, basically music, you think, is a means of communication as well as of delight?
Not even. I would not even go that far. But to play in an orchestra in an intelligent way is a lesson for life. If, let's say, you played violin and I played clarinet in the orchestra, okay, and then you would play your part, you would have to play your part with utmost conviction and passion, but you would also have to have an ear for what I am playing, because I'm playing that simultaneously to you. This you don't have. We are having now a very friendly discussion, you and I. You speak and I listen, then I speak and I listen. In music, we would be doing this simultaneously. So music in that respect is a lesson for life. And the West Eastern Divan, this orchestra made up of Israelis, Palestinians, Syrians, Lebanese, Jordanians, and Egyptians, is not an example of the normalization of the status quo in the Middle East, but it is an admission of the fact that we have to learn to live together. And the orchestra and the music, of course, gives all these wonderful people an equality, because in front of a Beethoven symphony, we are all equal, which unfortunately they don't have on the ground. It's as simple as that.
And people from that Arab-Israeli orchestra have gone on to full musical careers.
Oh yes, we have 7 or 8 members of the Damascus Symphony Orchestra who play in our orchestra. We have 4 members of the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra. We have one of the principals of the Munich Radio Orchestra, some in the Israel Philharmonic, really everywhere.
And do you think, Daniel, in your lifetime you will see a solid Palestinian state?
We'd better. If we don't see a solid Palestinian state, we will not see Israel for much longer. I think that now it's not a question of what you do for the Palestinians, what the world does for the Palestinians, but in the end what you do for the whole region. And I think that it is so linked. And we have, the most important thing is to achieve a situation whereby what is good for one is not automatically bad for the other. It has to be the other way around. If we manage to reverse that, then we will see that. But as I said to you earlier, I don't think that the question is one state, 2 states. The basic understanding has to be that you cannot put walls, borders, and separate the people. What is the best way for them to live with each other? This is something that has to be talked about and negotiated. But the idea that you can actually put a wall and so that there will be no contact and that there will be therefore no violence, this is not true. The people who want to do violence will do the violence with or without a wall, with a little more difficulty or less difficulty. We have to get it into our system, into the system of the Israelis and to the system of the Palestinians, that this area has to live with open borders. Then you can discuss whatever you want where the borders are.
Daniel, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's been
thank you.
A privilege.
Thank you very much.
Anyone can be US president, they say. Not true. But it might be more accurate to say that anyone can try. Take the Democratic race. From the newspaper coverage this week, you might think that it's a 2-horse race, but it isn't. Hats off then to Mike Gravel, former senator from Alaska, who is still in the running, despite the incidental point that he has, as yet, to garner a single delegate, or even break through the tricky 1% mark in any primary, and looks unlikely to improve on that score. At least he's coming 3rd out of 3. Bronze medal for the man himself, for Mike. We'll be asking who'll really win the race after this short break.